Hello, everybody.
Yay.
Chase can do the introduction today. Welcome.
I love that.
Thanks for the great trumpet playing from Chase tonight.
It was a tuba.
A tuba?
Yes.
Okay. Welcome to this week's tribute talk. It's going to be our second to last one for the time being because for the great trumpet playing from Chase.
Sorry.
What?
Forgot to turn my volume down on the live.
Is that me?
Inception.
But we are almost done with Catching Fire. So today we are going to be discussing chapters 25 and 26 of Catching Fire. Otherwise, before we hop in, any ballad news? I don't think there is.
Absolutely nothing.
You'd like to start the pot,
dry.
Holly.
I'm trying to upset everyone. I'm starting on a bad note by saying there's no ballad news.
I don't think I could be any more upset.
It just comes with the territory now. Okay, any announcements? Any non-ballad related announcements?
No.
It's just been 2 weeks of absolutely nothing. Not even a crumb.
If you guys keep thinking like that, it's gonna be July, and you guys are just be every week.
No, July, I expect us to start getting like set pictures that have been leaked.
Do you think that they really cast people already?
Yeah.
Like, have you heard that?
Definitely.
Or is that
I mean,
a
it's
timeline thing?
I feel like, maybe they're still in negotiations, like closing contracts, but people have to know that they're filming a movie.
Yeah, I think they usually have it already, like the main people secured already during this time.
Bag secured.
Yep.
I want to know, like, what are they waiting for?
What was that Rick Riordan series? They already have their cast, and it's like, wow, they started so much later than Ballad.
Apparently, the Percy Jackson, the actor, was cast in January, or they gave him the news in January.
Right, like the actor knew in January, so like it's got to be all a done deal.
Well, they had to get him quick because he had to like know for his soccer tryouts and stuff.
Stop.
It's like what?
That's funny.
Yeah, they definitely know. They're just not telling us for some reason. I don't know. I don't know what they could be waiting for.
It's gonna be a movie anymore.
Are they reconsidering?
They're like, well, it doesn't really seem to be as big of a thing as Twilight was during quarantine, so here we go.
I hate these thoughts.
But they have investors, though. Like, how would that work? Just like, let's just refund
I know,
your
it's
money.
like, yeah, let's go back to the investor calls where they seemed really excited about Ballad. I feel like there was a lot of enthusiasm there. But then they had that one movie come out that was like terrible, so
Like all the movies that they ever make, they're all bad.
They should hire us.
Yeah,
like, yes. We know what's good.
People like theater listening.
Too busy suing people.
Yeah.
Going after the fans.
Oh my
God. Ridiculous. Hopefully they never listen to this.
Don't listen right now.
We're fans.
But if you do,
we love you.
You went left when you got rid of Gary Ross.
It just came back up in my memories, like it being 10 years since we found out that like Gary Ross wasn't continuing.
That was the day my world fell apart.
Yeah, those were dark days until we got Francis.
Who's furiously
Who's typing furiously?
Oh,
I'm sending an
sorry.
angry
I'm
email to
so
Lionsgate.
sorry.
Tina.
I'm so sorry.
She's writing a strongly worded letter.
She's the intern.
I was
You're fine.
interacting with chat. Let me mute. Sorry.
No, oh my god, you literally were like,
Let's go.
I typed in caps lock.
I would hate to be your laptop right now.
Oh my god. Sorry.
I'm dying. Yes, and Abby's here today. That's what you were writing out. Welcome
We got
back.
Abby in the chat, Flora in the chat. Thanks for joining, guys. It's more fun live.
Exactly.
Is Jessica here?
No,
I
Jessica.
don't see Jessica. Maybe she's working.
She's baking for us right now. Doing something really good to send our way. Because she knows how depressed we are about Ballad. Okay,
Should
well,
we get into chapter 25?
dun dun dun.
I feel like these were short chapters, but a lot happens in these two chapters as it's the climax.
Very action-packed. I usually stop watching Catching Fire after the beach scene, to be honest with everyone. This is kind of a new experience for me.
There's not that much after the beach scene, though.
Because
From
I
there
get
to the
that.
end.
Afterwards, yeah, I give up.
Like, you already invested so much time, and then you don't just make it all the way.
Oh, it hurts. Like for me, I get like I'm very weird about movies. Like I will only watch certain parts of movies most of the time. It's very rare that I will watch a full movie in one sitting.
What?
I just don't like I don't know. I don't know.
Like, on a rewatch, though.
Yeah, on a rewatch.
Not like the first time.
No, on a rewatch. So like I've seen Catching Fire, I've loved Catching Fire, but then like the end just makes me upset because I have just such like a bone to pick about this whole like splitting them up, and I don't know.
I hate that shot seeing PETA, like, for the last time.
I know, it's so
So sad.
stupid. I just hate it. Makes me angry.
I love the very first line of this chapter. When I wake, I have a brief, delicious feeling of happiness that is somehow connected with PETA. I was like, oh, I don't even remember this line.
Oh, I'm like, this is it's kind of a saucy sentence in my
Right? For Hunger Games.
what is this scene? What is this sentence?
It's just like she's realized that she has serious, I feel like, romantic feelings for PETA.
And just
Got a feeling.
Woo.
That kind of feeling.
Yeah. She's realized it and felt it far too late in the game.
Then they get more bread, which,
Well, I was gonna say that it just gets really depressing after that, like brief, delicious feeling. She goes, "I'm probably gonna be dead in a day."
oh yeah,
Oh.
trip.
But yes, they get more bread, and I still don't understand the bread, if I'm being honest with you.
I'm like, how much is this bread costing? This
Yeah.
must be really expensive. And how are they figuring out, like, who is actually giving the money in
They're on a
order
war budget.
to get the bread? Like, they have to convince them, okay, give us this money and we're going to use it for bread. I'm like, bread? I mean, they don't even really need it that badly.
Yeah.
But you'd think if they're all together, then the sponsors that they can all pull money from has got to be a lot. Like, I mean, it's like 5 versus 2 right now. So
Did somebody say in like a previous tribute talk that like, I don't know, maybe I'm totally making this up, but I feel like someone said that the bread was like the signs for them to, like, for the ones that were in on the plan to know when it was supposed to
They explain it in
Is that-
Mockingjay.
Okay, I was like,
Right.
did I totally imagine that, or did somebody say that?
the district number it comes from is the day it's happening, and the number of bread rolls or bread things is the hour it's happening.
Okay,
Right.
I could have swore somebody said that, and then we were all like, what's up with the bread? And I was like, oh no, did I imagine that? Or did I like dream that?
We're talking about in the movie or in the chat how Hunger Games was removed from Netflix and then just removed from Hulu. And I have a similar experience.
What?
It got removed from Hulu.
Yeah.
No.
Abby was like, they took them off Hulu, and I was furious because I want to watch them on my Easter trip. And I was like, I was looking forward to sitting down and watching them. I think it was like a week ago or something. And yeah, they took them down. Now
But
that
you have digital versions now, Holly, since you bought the the like 4K set.
difficult. Okay, well, here's the thing. I guess I should talk about this. I didn't like how the digital downloads worked for this one. So I like to have them, like I have all the Twilight movies from like the special edition released like a couple of years ago. They're all downloaded onto Apple, like Apple TV. But I didn't like how they did it with the Hunger Games. It was choosing between like, I don't know if it was like Tubi and Google Movies.
I think it's Voodoo.
Yeah, I was like, ugh,
Ew.
yeah, I'm like,
Yeah. So I have that app now, and it's just for the Hunger Games movies. Like what?
I got the Google one because I was like, I don't know what else, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just complaining. I think it's kind of chuggy, but
I mean, I guess we could talk about the Target covers,
oh yeah.
right? That was news that I forgot about.
Why didn't they advertise those a little bit more? Because they're a lot prettier and cheaper.
Yeah, only $10.
So crazy.
What?
Yeah, they're
10?
$10 a piece. I mean, they're probably not like the greatest packaging, but I think they look cool, like the solid colors.
Yeah.
Although why they didn't make the Hunger Games green and Catching Fire orange
That's
is
what I was
beyond
thinking.
me, but
Personally, I like those covers better. I think
Yeah.
the uniformity of them all really
yes,
sold
the
me.
cohesion.
Yes, that word.
Awkward when Target does a possibly better job.
Yeah, it's kind of like, why did they do those also? Like, is it for the 10th anniversary? Is it just because, like, I don't know. It seems like there's no reason to make them, and they're nothing special.
Yeah.
Yeah, because most of the time
new
you can find those
covers.
movies in the like $5 bargain bin.
Right. And
Which
they
makes me
didn't
sad.
even release them for the 10th anniversary. So, I mean, I'll take it, but
It's just like, it came out
why?
of nowhere. Because when I saw the announcement, I think it was like from someone's stories, like they reposted the actual post.
Yeah, I think Brian posted them.
Yeah.
Also, it was like, where did you find these?
I
Like, it's
saw
not
them.
posted anywhere. Like, there's no news announcement or anything.
Mhm. They just looked like, I thought it was a fan edit when I first saw them. I was like, oh, that looks cool. And then I think it was once you, Emily, posted like, oh, I can't wait to get them. Like you post the price or something. And I was like, wait, these are actual like DVDs that we can
They're
buy.
real.
Not fan made.
Yeah, strange. But I'm gonna buy them, so.
Mm-hmm. Same. Save me $50 or $60 or whatever compared to the Best Buy ones.
I feel like page 356, the second page of the chapter, I was just getting the most Survivor feelings during this. I don't know. Then I feel like reading all of the Hunger Games or Catching Fire, like they're all on the beach. It's very Survivor-like. And then Katniss and Peeta, like Katniss pulls Peeta away to like go do something. She's gonna teach him how to swim, but really they're strategizing and talking about being allies and if they should leave or stay. I'm like, this is very Survivor-like, just scrambling around on the beach, and everybody else is on the beach like doing their own activity. I don't know.
It reminds me of a certain season 8 couple that constantly left and talked strategy by themselves apart from everybody.
What season is that?
Yes.
I think
All
I know
stars.
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about. Yes.
That's always reminded me of that. Every time I watch that season or watch that show, it always like goes back and forth.
Yeah, I can
In my
see
mind.
that. I feel like Katniss is kind of being that like paranoid Survivor player right
Yes.
now. Like when she's talking about how she doesn't understand what's going on. Or I don't understand what's actually going on. Wait, there's no ifs about that. I don't understand what's going on. And if I don't, it's time for Peeta and me to clear out of here. Like,
Yeah, she's like one
she's
of
giving
those
up.
survivors that is like, I gotta strike before I get striked from somebody else.
Mhm.
Yes, the golden rule of survivor is do unto others before they do unto you.
Yes.
I love that. But then they decide to stay until the couriers are dead
Not
through
me
Beatty's
realizing,
plan.
not realizing I'm on my personal YouTube account, Tina. That is my name. Holly Malark.
Holy Malark. Do you guys think Beatty's plan would actually work? Like going from the wire all the way to the water. I don't know. Katniss says it seems fantastical, and I have to agree. I mean, I guess it's a special futuristic wire, but
I actually think it would work, but the odds of people being on the beach when it happened, I feel like that was the problem.
Yeah.
So basically, you were just getting rid of all the food, which equally hurts you.
I loved Peeta's like positive attitude with that. Like, at least the food will be cooked. No, it'll all
No
be
more
gone. What I don't understand is the plan. Like, Katniss looks at Joanna and Finnick, and to her it seems like they aren't sure if they want to go along with the plan or not. But are they acting there? Like, they know that they actually need to, right? Or is this something that's just been sprung on them? I'm just so confused about who knows what.
Yeah, that's how I felt reading it too. I'm still confused.
And she's such an unreliable narrator because she has no idea either. So everything looks suspicious to her.
Right.
So it's like, what do you really pick out as like valuable, body language, and what's just she's getting paranoid.
Mm-hmm. Flora said that she thinks that the careers are smart and that they would cut the wire away, which I could see too, because that's another thing. While they're setting up the wire, you just see this random wire going down the beach. I mean, I would be skeptical too. I don't know.
Yeah, plus if you knew Beatty's winning games, then you would know that he electrocuted people. So, like, you'd kind of be dumb not to cut it.
Yeah.
Unless you thought it was already lit, like, live.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess the plan just had to be just believable enough that it would maybe do something in order to convince the audience that that's what they were doing.
Yeah, I still am really in the camp that the ending of Catching Fire is like one of the most confusing pieces of the entire trilogy.
Yeah.
It is really confusing.
I mean, I've read it multiple times over the years just to try to understand it, and it's still really, I don't know if she meant for it to be that way because of Katniss, but even at the end, like, it's still like, wait, why is that happening? What does this mean? Is she hallucinating when she's seeing fireworks? Like, it's very confusing.
And I would like to think, like, if all of us, or like most of us, still have like a hard time understanding all of the pieces, that then she like intended it to be that way. Because otherwise you're reading this and then you go back, and if you think, oh, it's only me that feel like what is going on here, I don't know. But I have a feeling it was probably more intentional.
Yeah, I think at this point it has to be. After all these years, people still are kind of like, that's really an odd way to end it.
Mm-hmm.
Or a confusing way to end it.
Or maybe Catching Fire is just not as good.
Agreed.
As we want it to be, like, because she wrote the Hunger Games, like, knew that really well, knew exactly where she wanted to end up with things in Mockingjay, and the middle just kind of had to be figured out as best as it could be.
Yeah, and see that read something a few weeks ago that said that she wrote, which I mean I didn't believe this, but someone was like, I believe she wrote the Hunger Games just as a vehicle to get to Catching Fire. Like I think that was her goal all along. I'm like, what makes you think that? I mean, that makes zero sense. But they were like, it's the masterpiece of them all, and basically, that was basically in their mind that was the only one that's worth reading. I'm like, it's really not as good as you think. You're probably just thinking about the movie.
The movie is so good. I feel like
The movie is good.
They made all the right choices.
But I have to say, I'm reading The Hunger Games like in between classes when I'm bored just to do something. And it is so good. The survival aspect of it, which I guess that's what drew me to it. It's just amazing in my mind. That's just the one I like the best. I think it's the best one. I just think the stakes are higher in that one in an odd way for me.
Well, she goes into it not having done it before. So,
Right.
And this time she's a lot more confident. And she's not trying to save herself either. So it is a lot less intense. They like walk to the lightning tree, and then they go back to the beach, and then they go back to the lightning tree. I was like, we're doing a lot of walking around here.
And I feel like isn't the tree a lot further up in the forest area or the jungle?
Yeah, I was having a hard time understanding like how long this was taking and how big the arena is or is not.
Because I mean, even if you're just going based off of what the arena looks like in the movie, like that's a trek. I don't think it'd be easy, especially with like the conditions in the arena, how hot and humid it is. I mean,
They had a seafood buffet before though. They were ready.
That she then pukes. I hate how she describes like the humidity. Like we're all just one big warm stew. Ugh.
Ew.
And how the water is not cold. Like everything's just warm.
I know.
And then I'm thinking about like my glasses would be fogging up the whole time because beaties are, and it just sounds miserable.
Hi, Jessica.
They're just in a
Here.
bowl, upside down bowl.
Yeah, all the heat is just there's nowhere for it to go.
Laura says the fact that nobody from the plan died and managed to avoid every wedge is really strange.
Yeah, especially in all the confusion.
Yeah.
Are the force fields up for each wedge the entire time? Or is it only when something is going on in the wedge that it like seals off?
Going on in the wedge.
Okay.
But I think that like I always assumed it was only the Jabberjay one that the force field went up for.
Jabberjay's copy.
But that wasn't a force field, right?
Yes, it was.
No, because like the barrier that comes up between her and PETA.
Yeah, it's not like a force. It's not like one that would.
It's like something else that they turn on just so they can't get out of the Jabberjays.
Like a transparent wall.
What, Jay?
That's what she said. When the Jabberjays came, she just said it was something different than the force field. It was like something harder. Like
it was like a hard wall, invisible wall.
I feel like that is a force field.
Something like it probably has to be, yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't one that would like,
yeah,
like it didn't
hurt
her. Yeah, she could just hit it and hit it and hit it and hit it.
Yeah, but I feel like that's the only section where that happens because they can escape in the
But doesn't the fog hit the force field?
But they can still get out of the force field. Like the fog stops at that because it's only
they can pass through the force field?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like the fog is only in that little portion of the arena. Same as like the monkeys are programmed. Like I guess because it's physical fog, you can see it stop, but like the monkeys wouldn't pass it, you know?
I got it. So the force field is just to stop whatever's in the wedge.
Yeah. That's what I always thought it was.
Me trying to figure out the arena as we're at the end.
But yeah, so that's what I always assumed. And I just thought that you can walk or run or whatever, get through the different sections. Unless it was the Jabberjay one.
So they literally walk all the way to the lightning tree to do nothing. Or like Beatty is testing something. I don't know what.
Yeah, this is where I get really confused. Like, what is he trying to do?
I don't know, because he throws a piece of bark or something at it, right? And then it fries.
Yeah.
And he says something like, oh, like that explains a lot. Or something.
Impressive conductor.
What does that explain? Nothing. So then I don't understand why he has the knife later and like jabs the force field with it.
Well, it's
Yeah,
Okay, so
that's what confuses me. Go ahead.
Oh.
Sorry.
there you go.
Oh, I'm done.
Okay. I think isn't it the like his plan was to break out throughout the wall, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't it to break out that way? And then it backfired.
Oh, okay,
Wait,
that
so
makes
like
sense.
the force field at the edge of the arena?
Yeah.
I think so. I think they talked about it in either at the end or the next chapter or in Malcolm J.
How do I not remember this at all?
Yeah.
Wait, so they were gonna go out like the side of it?
Not the side, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I
What?
thought that he was upset when he threw the wood or whatever at the force field because he wanted to use the lightning to then hit, like be the conductor and then hit the force field with that. But if it's
Alright.
just gonna like, if it's just gonna, something's gonna burn right away, then I don't know how to explain
I
it.
just don't understand how he put the wire on a knife, right? And that's like metal. And so wouldn't he have known that he would get hurt doing that?
Well, yeah, but it would have taken the force field down from the side.
So he was planning on just like sacrificing himself.
That's what I thought. That's what I always assumed.
Oh, okay.
Jessica says he was trying to blow it up. That's what she says.
Yeah, but I don't get. He's so smart. Why would he do it early? That was kind of. That's what I guess. That's what always throws me off. Is why was he so off? Did he
Before
just
the
panic,
lightning.
or- yeah, it's kind of an odd thing. Why he knew that wouldn't work? Did he? I just wondered. Maybe he panicked and started freaking
Maybe he
out.
hoped that like Plutarch would see that they needed to do it early and do it early for some reason.
Maybe he had PTSD about electrocuting more stuff, and just kind of freaked out. That would be a good theory. We'll go with that if you can't think of anything about better.
Well, I wonder if almost it was like the whole wire thing was a facade for him because
A facade, you mean?
Facade.
Facade?
I was like, what? No, but because then if the plan was originally to just like pretend that he was gonna blow up the people on the beach, and then they get to the tree, and then all of a sudden he's gonna like try and break them out from the side, and that doesn't work. That's kind of what I'm thinking happened. And so then it just all like I think it was Jerry was saying they wanted to get out at that point in time. And Plutarch wasn't letting them out from the side, maybe. And so then he got frustrated and kept trying all these things and then got injured.
I hate that we don't have for sure answers about any of this.
Wait, but then what was the point of the bread? It was like, we'll rescue you at hour 24, and they come in with the hovercraft that Katniss made a hole with.
Yeah, well, maybe I'm picturing the like bread as the time to represent like Plutarch and them and the rebels were going to be there to pick them up at that time. And so they had gone all the way to the tree at that time. And like Katniss doesn't know any different. Like they're just practicing or he's just testing things out. but maybe it was that time, and then the rebels just fell through and weren't able to make it at that time. And so then that's why BT went into like a huge panic and everything just like went out of control.
Do we
think
all
it
agree
does.
that they were going to get out of from the top and not on the side, or is that up for debate too?
Well, I don't know if it.
Because I know she at one point, I think it's when maybe Peter gets hit or something like that, she talks about how the force field like messes up, when something hits it, and that she could see through to the other side, and it was like grass, like almost like they were in a big field, but that was the outside of the force field. So I never knew if that was just to let you know that it wasn't an actual jungle, or if they were actually going to try to get out that way. Or
Wait, where is that?
I don't remember that part.
I don't remember
I'm
that
pretty
at all.
sure that is either when she's throwing the like the tree nuts at the force field and it's hitting, or it's when Peter gets hit or something like that. She mentions that she can see through to the other side for just a second, and then it all comes back to the jungle.
Oh.
Yeah, it's when Peter gets hit. Or
Now I didn't read. I'm gonna be honest.
I think you're right.
We
I
read,
the 6th chapter,
and we don't know.
but I remember that.
Yeah.
Let me Google it.
The movie just clouds my judgment so much. Like even
Yeah, I
while
can't
reading
tell
the
movie from
book.
book.
I'm gonna go back and look for this. I'm confused. Okay, and then Jessica says they were going to be rescued on day 3 at 12 a.m. 24 rolls from District 3. So again, I feel like they went to the lightning tree at that time to be ready to be picked up, and then something fell through. I don't know. It's like you're waiting for your mom to pick you up from practice, and then she just never shows up, and then
But it would have to be at noon or midnight for the lightning? Or the lightning doesn't even matter.
well, I wonder, because they're using the lightning and the idea of like torching the beach because it won't show up as them escaping the arena. Like it's a false.
So then it had to either be at noon or midnight.
Yeah, because it was a
So
fake.
it's just to tell them which of the two.
Well, I just thought it was they were using that plan. So, for example, like if Snow is watching it, he thinks, oh, they're going up there at this time because that's when the lightning tree will strike and that's when they'll blow up the beach. But that's not actually what they're even intending to do. Like the whole intention was to get there, but how could they get there and create this whole plan where everyone goes to this tree without saying, hey, we're creating a rebel plan to escape the arena?
Yeah, someone needs to
God,
work
you're
on the
here.
wiki for the 75th arena because it's pathetic. There's like 2 paragraphs.
It was a 2-for-1 plan, is what Jessica says.
Yeah, hour 24 is midnight.
Yeah. So, like, the whole plan for them to go after Anabaria and Brutus was, like, yeah, it was a plan if it worked out and they were able to kill them, but mostly it was to get all of those victors up to the destination where they would break out of the arena and then get taken away.
So how did... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, because Finnick and Joanna and Beatty, they know that they are getting taken out of the arena, and they just have to keep Katniss and Peeta alive until that time, and then they have to go to the lightning tree. Like, that's all the information that they're given. But then they get there, and they realize that nobody is there at the moment, so they just have to go along with their fake plan to, like, get rid of Anabaria and Brutus, is what I think.
Oh.
Hmm.
So Peeta just follows Joanna going after... Wait, then what happened to Peeta? Why does he disappear?
He has a Beatty, I thought.
He gets separated, and then he gets in a fight with Brutus and Chav. And
Mhm.
Chav gets killed by Brutus, and Peter kills
Oh.
That's like when he's yelling,
Mm.
Brutus. Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I think he kills Brutus, and then he calls for Katniss, and then Katniss is confused.
Okay, the force field, there's a sharp zapping sound. For an instant, the trees are gone, and I see open space over a short stretch of bare earth.
Yes.
Oh,
See, in my mind, this wasn't like, so this is the edge of the arena, right?
Yeah.
See, I don't know. I always took it as like that was like the outside, and always thought that was kind of a hint that this isn't real.
yeah.
Like they're not in Hawaii or on an island somewhere. They're like in the middle of a field. Just it's made in there.
Because it's a man-made arena.
Now I've heard people say before that they think all the arenas are that way. Do you all believe that? I don't believe that.
I believe that.
I don't like
Yeah,
that thought.
I think so.
I want real arenas.
I
No,
always thought they were in like fake, like domes or something.
yeah. No, that's what they are because
Yeah.
you can control the weather inside. You control like where the animals are inside the arena. You can control.
That's too fantastical for Chase.
Yeah. It's really freaking me out. No, I like the idea that they're all under a dome. But do you think like her first games, do you think they really went in and built all that inside a dome, or they just enclosed a big wooded area in a dome and then messed with it?
I think they built it all inside.
Ooh,
It's so
not in my mind.
Because they
Nope.
can like build stuff with their computers, like they did
Yeah.
the mutts and stuff.
I can't go with that. Just like I'm not going to let the hovercrafts disappear.
stop.
Accept it.
Or they like started, I mean, it could be natural, but just developed over like a really long period of time. How many decades? I don't know
Yeah,
how
maybe
long
they
it takes to
reuse
grow
them
a
every now
forest.
and
But that means that, so like when they go to, when people go on vacation to those, they go inside the dome.
What?
Hmm?
Like, because they say the capital citizens go there for vacation. So
Right.
that means they go inside the dome.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like that.
Yeah. And it's
Because-
like totally different from whatever's outside the dome.
Yeah, because it looks huge from the inside. Like when you're in it, you would assume that you're like in, like you said, Hawaii, or you're in a forest or something. So they just fly them and they can control the settings. So that's where you're taking a trip to. It's like Disneyland, essentially. A little sanctioned off area. Jessica said, so, okay, wait, we'll go through these comments. Jessica says it was a 2-for-1 plan. PETA went looking for Katniss. And then Flora said PETA went with Beetee, but I think he ran away to kill Brutus and then to find Katniss. And then Jessica says, but Beetee told the girls to meet in the next wedge over. So does this confirm that Beetee was planning to take down the whole force field and be rescued in the fog wedge, or the monkey wedge? Well, I would assume it would be the fog one, because that's what is at 1 a.m. You'd run from 12 to 1. It's like hard work right here.
This is so confusing.
Yeah,
I feel more
why do
confused.
we have to do this? She's supposed to be doing this for us.
Like lay it out for us.
How
I'm
dare she?
just so glad I'm not the only one confused. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna look like the worst fan tonight. It's like, oh, okay, cool.
We all suck.
No, as a 12-year-old, I was like, wow, that was really confusing. And then as a 15-year-old, when I read it again, I was like, no, that's still a little confusing, but maybe I'll give it a few more years. And as a 21-year-old, it was still the same confusion. So
As a 26-year-old.
I mean, I guess there's no real reason. I get why Katniss is confused. She doesn't know what's going on, but then it's never explained in enough detail for me later. But I guess there's no reason to, other than I just want to know.
I guess what's the main question everyone's confused about?
What
Because
was the
mine's why
plan?
Beetee messed
In the
up.
first one. Who knew what, when,
Yeah.
why, how?
Abby says I'm on spring break. My brain is checked out. Like my brain is checked out, and I'm not even on spring break. Katniss seems to confuse everyone more than making any sense, which is that first person perspective.
Like Jay said, she's very unreliable into like
Mhm. And then
knowing what's real or not.
Real or not real? Jessica
Not
says
real.
Yes, but then he also said if they're running out of time to move one wedge over. It was just a really screwed up fake plan. I will think that it's just a fake plan just to get them to all one location at a specific time. And their mom just did not come pick them up at the right time. Said, pick me up at midnight, Mom, and Mom did not show up.
Plutarch is like, sorry, I was at Arby's.
We have the meats.
But it doesn't make sense though. If the plan was to get them all together, then why did they make Katniss and Joanna run the wire down there?
Because if they just stood there and did,
because that was part of the plan, the fake plan.
Yeah, but then why were they all still at the tree? Why did they not move over? Is that because
that was a meeting location. Are you?
Is that because the careers were after them? Maybe that's why Beatty did that, because he saw the careers were after him, figured they didn't make it to the beach, and that he was just gonna have to blow it up himself, so he did it. But there was no reason to blow up the water.
Are you?
That makes sense though.
But like, so Joanna and Katniss were just, I mean, that had to have just been a decoy, because there was no reason for them to do that.
Well, yeah, because she needed to cut out the tracker. So
That's true.
They need to get
Oh, that scene grosses me out, man.
Jerry is smart and gets it. Chase does not understand.
I just think it's overly confusing.
It is overly confusing.
Like, and I'd be okay with it if she explained it better in the next book or like at the end or something, but it's never really all laid out very well.
Yeah. Laura says Plutarch coming in with coffee and donuts for everyone who made it. Same.
Hey, but we're getting up to one of my favorite movie quotes. You know, I like my movie quotes, the random ones that pop out of nowhere.
Oh, yeah.
And one of my favorites is Joanna.
He does a really good job with that loud, like, whisper.
Yeah, it's like you might as well just say it out loud in a normal voice.
I can hear you. So are we just? I'm just assuming we're kind of like merging these two chapters.
Well, we kind of skipped. Like, they went back to the beach after they went to the tree and did nothing.
Back to the beach. That's
the pearl
beach. Let's go get away.
Then Peeta gives Katniss the pearl.
Aww.
And she like hangs out a little bit underwater, which is kind of cute.
How does she open her eyes? Isn't it salt water?
I know.
That doesn't
You
hurt.
can open your eyes in salt water.
Yeah, it's not as bad as
it
you
hurt.
did.
I don't open my eyes in water unless I'm wearing goggles.
To me, it's more nasty if you're at a public beach, but whatever. It's hygiene-wise, because you know that water ain't clean.
Especially in the stew that is the arena.
Stew.
Was it Flora? I think it was Flora that called it Victor's stew.
Ew.
Yeah, Flora called it Victor's stew.
I love this.
Katniss did with the pearl after the book. Well, doesn't she keep it?
She keeps it.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much the end of the chapter.
Right before the explosions begin, I find a star.
Yeah.
Oh, I was on the end of chapter 25.
Oh, end of chapter 25?
Yeah.
See, I was just lumping this whole discussion into one.
I mean, yeah, we skipped ahead to kind of talk about stuff, but
because I'm even like, as we're talking, I'm going back and rereading the end of this, and I'm still very confused.
I mean, we pretty much talked about most of this. So Joanna and Katniss are walking back. The wire is cut. Joanna cuts the tracker out. Smears blood all over her.
I also just have a hard time with the whole like remember who the enemy is, remember who the real enemy is.
Oh my gosh, me too.
In the book, she just goes, wait, like nobody says anything to her.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, I have to remember who the real enemy is. Like, why? I wouldn't be thinking that in such a state of like panic and chaos.
Yeah,
like
it's a big leap to make in understanding for her in such a short amount of time when everything is chaos. And then
Mhm.
I'm like, what is she doing? Like, so she just is abandoning her plan to protect PETA? Did she really hate Snow enough in that moment to want to get back at him more than save PETA?
Mhm.
I don't really understand.
Because the movie, it made more sense because Finnick is like says the line that Hamish said to her.
Yeah, and like she owes him so much and like has become kind of a friend, and I can see that as more of a trigger.
But I was surprised to like reread this and remember that it's her that comes to that conclusion. Very, like you said, it is a big leap.
And
I-
like, what conclusion
yeah, she's like,
is she even coming to?
it's not an Obarga. She is not the enemy.
And then she just points up to the dome.
Like, what does she think is gonna happen? I don't know.
Okay,
Catching Fire just became my third favorite book now.
Well, at least in the movie, she looks at Beatty and the knife or whatever.
In the movie, yeah, it's more clear that she kind of grasps, not that she fully understands what his plan was,
Right.
but realizes that there must have been some bigger plan at work, and that she trusts Speedy. And remember who the real enemy is? Okay, like I'm gonna be a team player even though I have no idea what's going on.
Wait, so in the book, it looks like she shoots her arrow at the side, but in the movie, wasn't it the dome, the top?
Yeah, more dramatic.
Okay. Was there a knife in the movie? Does she attach the knife to the arrow in the movie?
no.
Yeah, it's attached to like a big stick. It's like a big spear.
Oh.
That Beatty had.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she undoes it and puts it on her arrow.
Yeah, okay.
Chase,
And then
can
she
you
screams.
recreate the scream? Thank you.
And just get away from that tree.
Katniss?
Katniss, get away from that tree!
Katniss, where are you?
Like
I forgot that it had only been 3 days. I felt like it was a lot longer.
Yeah, it goes
than
back
that.
quick.
Only 3 days.
I think so.
I mean, I believe you. I'm just in shock.
Was it 3 days? I thought I heard someone say that. I really
In
don't know.
the in the movie, it's 2.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's even less because that first night they have the fog. The next morning they find Joanna, and then Wyrus gets killed, and then they go to the tree. It's crazy.
I love Flora. Amazing reenactment. So good job, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Greasy says Stu is looking a bit strange. So,
What is the right before the explosions begin? I find a star. Is this like an actual star or?
yeah, is it a fake one?
I think that's the hovercraft coming in, right? Or I mean, yeah. What's the explosion? I don't know. Or is it her arrow hitting the force field?
What is life? What is catching fire?
What is
It's so
catching fire?
confusing.
If I remember right, I think, is this at night or day? Because I think I watched an interview with Francis and he said that they changed it from day to night. I don't know if I'm thinking about the right thing, but
Isn't it daytime when it opens up though, and the light comes
yeah,
through?
or
In the movie, yeah.
maybe in the book it was night. He changed it to day.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
So maybe
assumed
that's
it
why she
was,
saw a star.
night because of the star.
I have to find it.
More dramatic. Everything's about more intensity and drama in the Catching Fire movie.
The score it's great.
We still love you, Suzanne. You just hurt our heads.
I know, I'm like, I have a headache over this. Headache? You give me headaches. Dirk and Josh?
Is that? Oh, I thought that was the Grinch.
No, it's
Why do we always come back to Nick shows? I don't.
Okay, Jerry, thank you for writing this up for Mockingjay too, like 10 minutes ago.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Oops.
No,
Don't
do you
read
want
it.
to read it? Do you want me to read it? Because I feel like it's also very helpful too.
Or it's for next week. That's in the chapter 27.
Chapter 27 in Mockingjay?
No, Catching Fire.
Oh, Catching Fire.
Yeah.
There's a plan to break us out of the arena from the moment the qual was announced. The victor tributes from 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 11 had varying degrees of knowledge about it. Plutarch Havensby has been, for several years, part of an undercover group aiming to overthrow the capital. He made sure the wire was among the weapons. BD was in charge of blowing a hole in the force field. The bread we received in the arena was code for the time of the rescue. The district where the bread originated indicated the day, 3, the number of rolls, the hour, 24. Okay. Hovercraft belongs to District 13. Bonnie and Twill, the woman I met in the woods from 8, were right about its existence and its defense capabilities. We are currently on a very roundabout journey to District 13. Meanwhile, most of the districts in Panem are in full scale rebellion. Still, I'm like, why do we need the wire? I don't know.
What were the amounts of bread that they got? Did they get bread 3 times?
Yeah.
And the last time and the second to last time, it was the same, right?
Hmm.
I don't even understand the breads, to be honest.
Like,
I
what
don't
was
really
the
get that. Like, why not just send it when you know for sure? Why did we have to send like 4 different rounds of bread?
Yeah.
right?
Like carbs, come on, keto.
It's the Olive Garden experience, unlimited
Yeah,
breadsticks.
for real, like, is this unlimited breadsticks or what's going on? Unpopular opinion, Olive Garden's nasty.
What?
Hey, those are fighting words.
The salad, the breadsticks, take it away.
Oh my
No,
god.
it's all
Wife's
great.
name out
If
your
it ain't
mouth.
Texas Roadhouse, I don't want it.
We need to get Justin on here to fight and defend his homeland, Olive Garden.
Olive Garden. Corporate America.
Texas Roadhouse is good.
No, it's not. Ew.
The
They have
rolls,
best
the
ranch
rolls
in the
are the
they have
best.
the best ranch in the Union.
Texas Roadhouse makes me want to throw up.
Yeah,
I just like
that's
their bread.
blasphemy.
Like if these were in the arena, Texas Roadhouse rolls, I'd be very happy.
Like, I want to go to a fancy dinner at the Olive Garden, please and thank you. Oh my god, Florence of the Olive Garden near me had a rat problem, but I love them.
Exhibit A.
Stop. Well, you throwing peanuts on the ground. I'm sure there's rats scurrying around your feet.
They don't let you do that
Yeah.
anymore.
They don't? When did they stop?
Not at mine. I don't know about everyone else's.
They're
Wait, they didn't let you
obviously
do that at
desperate.
yours?
I'm not even joking. I think it was because of peanut allergies, right? And COVID, they took the peanuts away, so you can't even get them anymore.
If you have a peanut allergy, I hate you.
What?
Bold statement. to
I
make.
was not expecting that.
I was
Sorry,
so
I
mad
laughed
at this
so hard,
kid at
I
our
just wasn't
school.
expecting
I feel like there's a lot of things you can't eat.
What?
I feel like
Imagine not having a peanut butter and jelly. Oh,
Oh, after the Survivor last week, I was like, you don't like
it
peanut butter.
looks so good.
Wrong with you? Yeah, it looked
Yeah.
good.
When Mike said, "I'm licking the bag," I was like, "Yeah, me too, Mike. That's what I want to do too." Because that
the
sounds
bread
good.
was like really thick. I mean, I'm sure that was good for them.
Their sandwiches
but-
always look good, but they always say the food is so disgusting.
Well, because you're gonna be sick afterwards. They're probably like pooping for
Well,
days.
that and a lot of the times, if they like give them hot food, it's not hot, very hot by the time they get it. So then it's like cold, and it's like an
But they're
international.
apple.
It's like another country making Americanized food, so it's always a little different than what you expect. So it's no. They say
You know
the
what
pizza's
looks
the worst
good?
thing on the show.
Like the fish that they catch, I always want to eat.
Yeah, that does look good.
Ew.
What?
It's
No.
natural, Holly.
Like the fish in Catching Fire that they bite into, I always want to eat that too.
No,
Just
Ew,
imagine
okay,
what
I'm
we
off on
can
that.
have it.
It looked so good.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
Hey,
so
what's
the
the word?
first delivery of the rolls, they get 24 from District 4. And then, so it's 24 every time. So it's always the same time. Why didn't they just tell them
They're like,
midnight? Like, every-
Just right on the bread.
They're like, nobody's gonna survive 3 days in this arena, or 4 days in this arena. So we gotta move it down.
Gotta change it to 3.
Agreed, Flora. The one girl in Survivor who sat out because she didn't like them.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck?
I was like, beggars can't be choosers. Aren't you starving right now?
First off, if you don't like peanut butter and jelly, there may be something wrong with you.
Agreed.
That's like the meal.
I was
of
confused because I
Americans.
thought she was sitting out because she wanted to like get an advantage of some sort, but then it
She's
seemed
got
like she
everyone in the
genuinely
game.
just didn't want the PB&J.
Dude, I cannot stand Tori. I need to talk to somebody.
No,
about
I love her.
I cannot stand this woman.
Okay, wait,
Wait,
you know,
is she
have
the
you
one
watched-
She's the like
The blonde girl?
the blonde girl who like
Oh
runs.
gosh, I can't stand her either.
Do you know who she reminds me of, Holly?
Oh,
Did you watch David versus Goliath?
yes.
She reminds me of Angelina. She's Angelina. Just
Okay.
a little less outspoken to the group, but like her mannerisms that she's like the smartest of the bunch. Yeah, that's Angelina.
Okay, I can
Her
see it.
facial expressions remind me of Patrick Mahomes' wife. I don't know
Oh,
if you guys know who
no.
that is. But
Yeah.
that's who she reminds me of.
I hate her. I can't stand that woman.
Yeah.
Ugh. But yeah, I hate Tori. I need to talk about how I hate Tori. I think Lindsay is gonna make it very far.
Sadly, she'll be that one that like gets to the end and no one votes for because no one really knows her or cares about her.
Yeah,
Is
because
Tori keeps
That's a
winning
good
the
strategy.
challenges, right?
yeah, she's won both immunity.
Yeah, it's
individual-
making me really mad because I want her to go.
No, I like her because she adds dramatics to it all.
You always like these ones that we cannot stand.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a Heather this season. It kind of makes me sad.
I like Mike is my.
She's
hero.
irreplaceable.
I
That's
love
true.
her.
I thought the Heather was going to be Jenny, the Asian girl that got kicked out over the tie with Lydia, and
I liked her.
yeah, she
Yeah,
was
me
real
too.
quiet, but she was kind of quirky, and I was like, oh, maybe she's the Heather, but then she left, so I didn't know.
No,
And I was
Spoiler
mad
alert.
that like they kept Lydia over her. I liked, was her name Lucy or something like that?
It was Jenny.
Jenny. Oh yeah, I liked her.
Daniel gave in, and that was a good episode, but
Ugh, Daniel, I couldn't stand him either.
I liked him.
Of
He just
course
got
you
engaged.
did.
I follow him.
Flora likes Marianne.
Oh,
Ugh.
Oh wait, yeah. The
I
mean,
said on the
she's
first episode,
sweet.
5 minutes in, I looked at my mom. I said she would get annoying after about a day.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
what I
she
was
would.
thinking.
That's
Like
exactly what happened.
she's really sweet as a person, but if I were on an island just tired and hungry, like I would not be able to handle that. All that energy, I just couldn't do it.
I like Jonathan a lot.
Me
Yeah, I do
too.
too.
He's my
really
favorite.
surprised me.
Usually, like I don't really care about the like buff guy characters, but he's cool.
He's
Yeah.
a god. Like he is literally a Greek god.
He's insane. Like
In the challenges,
don't
yeah,
even-
just so much respect.
I
Yeah.
love him and Mike. Like I keep saying I love Mike, but him and Mike are just so cute together. Like
I like Mike too. I just followed him too. He's funny on Instagram.
he is my Heather of the season because he's just so like I love him. How he watched
yeah.
he like was asking Omar about his religion and
I like Omar too.
yeah, he's
I like his shirt.
Omar is
That
gonna be
ostrich.
a threat, dude. I think he is his social
I've
is
heard that from a lot of people.
Yeah.
gonna go far. Until
The
someone says,
the two that I think are getting in over their heads, and I think they remind me of Shan and Ricard last season, is Drea and Hai. I think they're way too good, and
I
they're
like
kinda
Hai
getting
a
little
lot.
arrogant. I like them. I just think that they're going to end up getting cut, just like
Yeah.
Ricard and Shan. I think
Yeah.
they're just way too threatening.
but nobody realizes how threatening Omar is. Like the fact that it wasn't last week, it was the week before, him changing the plan to get Lydia out. Like that
Yeah,
was
he got like that
Yeah.
whole vote. That was all him.
that was insane. So I don't know. I think he's gonna make it very far. I could see him winning if nobody suspects him, which so far no one does.
And shout out to Roxroy. I liked him on his Hourglass episode, but they don't really show him any other time.
I know.
Yeah, that cracked me up how he like was enjoying himself out there. Like he loved it.
He
was
built like a
finally
mansion
alone.
out there.
He's like, I don't have my wife, my
In
kids, I don't have anybody
control.
around me.
I'm also like, who would not like if you were given the choice to like the hourglass choice, who would choose not to do that? Like, I don't understand.
If a majority of your alliance is safe, though, I think it would be smart not to do it.
I don't know. I feel like no matter what, somebody would do it.
See, I thought it made sense for him not to do it because I think a majority of his old tribe they were safe or something like that. So I didn't really get why he did it, but whatever.
Yeah, he doesn't like Tori, right? And she was safe, I think.
Yeah, he
right?
hates
They've
her.
been trying to go after freaking Tori, and I want them to get her. And so
She posted a picture of the disguise she wore in the hotel before they left because they all had to like wear disguises, I guess, so that they didn't know who was who. And she's so goofy. Anyways, I
she's
just had to
so
tell.
goofy. I mean, what's her Instagram?
I think it's just her name. Let me look.
Tori.
She posts a lot.
Tina, you need to watch Survivor so you can
Yeah,
join
it's
the
Tori
discussion.
_the_therapist. Because she's a
So
therapist, in case you didn't know.
She reminds me of my own therapist, to be quite honest with you. But I like my therapist. I hate her in the show, so I'm very conflicted.
Her facial expressions are pretty crazy, though.
So, what came first, Survivor or the Hunger Games?
Survivor. She wrote the
Survivor.
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 Survivor is from like 2000, I think.
2008.
Inspiration.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's you.
she's flipping through channels and she watched like reality TV show, which was kind of Survivor, assumingly.
That would be my question to her. I mean, like I know I say the Prim, Peter, are they siblings, but it would be, were you watching Survivor that night? That would be my question.
That's your question.
It really would. There's
Just
so many
confirm.
similarities. It's not even funny. Like she had to have basically just ripped it off.
Oh my gosh. Okay, she is goofy. Her posting about the guy from Schitt's Creek, her eyebrows. That's
Oh yeah, that was funny.
that's
See, I
silly.
think she's funny.
I don't like her, but that's silly.
I don't like her.
Hey, you know who that is? Murtaugh.
Yes. Oh,
Not this again. Not tonight.
Hey, Baker.
Let's see.
I have a confession to make.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been really busy, with schoolwork and stuff. So I've only watched the premiere. But I
Jerry.
know I
Should have
follow a
stopped us.
bunch
We
of
would
it.
have shut up.
Yeah.
We just ruined it for
We
you.
spoiled you.
I know what happens because I follow a bunch of people.
Oh, okay.
So I get caught up, yeah.
Well, now I don't feel bad. Well, I kind of do, but
No,
It's
okay.
good,
I know.
Jerry. You got to catch up.
No, I know. I want to watch it, but I need to have fun.
yeah, I think this season's better than last.
I think so too.
I think the cast is just overall, there's better people.
I think overall I like the cast better, but I really liked Ricard last season and like his arc of me
I miss-
hating him to liking him.
You liked him at the end? I still didn't like him. I thought he
Yeah.
was evil.
No, he was the best.
I miss Heather. She doesn't
Shan
post
was the
much
evil
either.
one.
Yeah, I agree. Shane kind of fell off the face of the earth. I think the whole cast hates her now. Based on the interviews I've heard, I think she's kind of gotten hated on. What is this?
yes, let's go.
Hey, put my screen back.
Uh-oh.
Oh my gosh, not the glitchiness.
You guys know.
You've taken this too far.
Feature film of tonight.
Nora!
Watch along.
Funny. The mom is funny. She's so funny.
We got hijacked.
We got hijacked. Dun, dun, dun.
The Huns are back.
Fun. That day was wild.
Never forget.
All right.
I think the
we gotta-
anniversary
we gotta
of the
close
Huns
it
is
out.
coming up.
Twins.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure it was May 4th, wasn't it, last year? Or May 3rd?
Really? You know the date?
What is it?
Well, remember when we were talking about it in the chat, and I remembered that I was making that Star Wars escape room for my students, and that would have been May 3rd because May 4th is Star Wars Day. And then Chase went back in your all's Instagram lives, and I'm pretty sure he found it, and it was, I think, May 3rd.
Yeah, it's almost been a year, I think. Yeah, she's right.
Well, did it celebrate?
If it's not already been a year, I don't remember when it was, but it was very close to what Taylor.
I'm pretty sure it was when I was making that escape room while listening to the live, and so that would have been May 3rd.
I wonder where they are.
Star Wars. Wonder whose lives they're fighting in these days.
Back. Reunion.
We do. Okay, I do want to talk about this because this is very exciting. At least I'm excited. I think Emily's pretty excited. We are recording an episode this week, and we're actually talking with a professor from University of Oregon who teaches a class on the Hunger Games.
Oh,
So,
that's cool.
yeah,
it's gonna be fun.
it'll come out on Sunday. So I mean, like, promoting for that, but I'm just so excited. I'm looking through the syllabus right now for the class.
Oh, you gotta send that to me.
Yes, I'm gonna send it to you. It's so cool. Anyway, I wanted to share that because I talked about last week how I was excited for something, and that's what I was excited for. So
That's gonna be really fun. If you guys have any questions,
Can I take your class?
yeah, literally.
right? Me.
What does he just use like the book as a book? Like, does it show what text he requires?
Thank you very
Oh,
much.
sorry.
Yeah, it's a different professor from the one that I talked about before who wrote.
Yeah,
the
that's
book.
the person I had in my mind. My bad.
Required texts are just the Hunger Games, like the 3 books, and then various
Wow.
other readings. I think
That's so cool.
articles, yeah.
What does she focus on? Like, what's the
It's
the angle?
sociology. I can't say that word. And the Hunger
That's the class I read Hunger Games in first
Really?
ever. My
That's-
sociology class at Marshall.
Games. That's
Cool.
cool. Okay, yeah. So I'm just looking forward to it. So, like Emily said, if you guys think of any questions or anything you're interested in asking, just let us know. Send them our way.
I'll try to find my old notes.
Yes. So cool.
I still haven't finished all the way your album video, but I've listened to Fade by Kanye West a couple billion times. I'd already liked that song before that, but when you brought it back up, it just kind of brought it back up into my mind.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's
you
a
guys make
great
a
pick of
playlist?
Holly's.
I
That
was-
whole album is so odd but good.
It's art. Plain and
St.
simple.
Pablo or whatever, it's good.
Yeah.
I forgot what song it was.
But yeah, so if you haven't checked out that episode too, Emily did an amazing job. I love the songs in it.
That's my favorite episode we've ever done.
Mhm. But I'm excited for this one. And next week we are finishing Catching Fire. So join us for that.
And then hopefully after that, ballad news.
Oh,
I keep dreaming.
I forgot to say. Yes, last week you guys talked about the original script for the Hunger Games,
Uh-huh.
hmm
and I read through half of it, and I understand why they scrapped it because
So bad.
it's so random. Like there's a one plot point that happens, and about Gail, and like why would you do that?
Wait,
Oh,
I'm
geez.
so
I
excited.
feel Holly hasn't read it, right?
I know I have it.
I definitely think we need to read it and like talk about it
Where
after
can you
Catching
find
Fire.
it?
Aren't it one point? It's online.
I'll send the link
Okay.
in our chat.
Aren't they like on top of a train car at one point?
Yeah.
They're so. It's like this is not Divergent. Get that out of there.
There are parts that are good though too.
Hmm.
I feel like where they stayed more faithful to the book, so I think it'll be fun to discuss.
They're like, hey, what if we did this?
Just throwing
Carrie
this out
Rock is
there.
like, no. Suzanne's like, no.
I
Bye.
feel like Suzanne supported a lot of the changes in that script. And then Nina was the one like, are you sure? Like, I feel like we
Yeah.
should go back to the book more.
Gross. Just gross. But yeah, we do need to reenact it or do a
Yes.
read.
That'll be fun.
I don't know who I want to be.
So stay tuned for that, I guess. But yeah, does anyone else have anything? Any announcements? Any crazy news?
Think so.
If not, listen to our episode this Sunday and come join us for our final Catching Fire talk next Monday. Same time, same place.